Okay, so I want to talk about Monsters at Work a little bit. I am a longtime fan of Monsters Inc. and Monsters University. I'm in love with the universe, in love with the characters, the design, the artwork that goes into it. So, big fan. Um, but I, I have mixed feelings on Monsters at Work, and most of them have to do with the main character, Tyler, just because he's very flat in comparison to the rich world, the rich characters, and the newer characters, although they're fun, the ones that work at Mift, anyways, the newer characters at Mift are fun, but I say that reluctantly because they're a little bit one dimensional right now. And I feel like as time goes on, we might be a little more endeared to them, but with like maybe 5 to 10 minutes total of seeing just one kind of trait played out over and over again, they're a little annoying. Um, it's it's a little rushed because in movies there's a lot more story, there's a lot more setup, things have to fall into place perfectly to get things to happen within a certain amount of time. So having a series is completely new for Monsters, but it's not it could be better. It could be better. I'm not afraid to admit that. I like it. I don't love it. It's making me very happy, but there's so much that could be improved upon. Tyler, the main character, recently graduates from Monsters Uni, and he gets there, and they're like, "Oh, it's laugh powered now," and he's just like, "Great, what am I supposed to do?" But he's not even that whiny. He's just like, "Oh no, an inconvenience. What should I do?" And then they're like, "Well, you work at MIF now. You're gonna work with these losers," and he's like, "Oh no, guess I'll fucking die." But he doesn't. He doesn't have any extreme reactions. He doesn't have any fun characteristics that really play off of or anything like that. He's just kind of sitting there and like just taking it, and he like the interactions the other characters have with him. Like Sully will be like Sully and Mike meet him and they're like, "Hey kid, you fucked up, but you know what? We started in the mailroom. You can move up from Mift, and you could be one of our fucking top jokesters. Like, this could be epic. You could be epic." And I think Sully, especially, kind of has this mentor feeling, or like dad, almost dad, like feeling towards him because he kind of sees himself in Tyler. But Tyler is definitely way more boring and doesn't have the personality that Sully did at a young age, which you can see in Monsters University, and his development in Monsters University. We're not getting a whole lot of development with Tyler so far. He's a Mary Sue, for lack of better terms. He's just kind of boring, and he's a top scarer. Oh, he gets to Monsters Inc. and they're not scaring anymore. What'll he do? But it's not played in a very interesting way yet. So I'm excited to see where it'll go, but so far it's pretty average, and I feel like some of the side characters like Duncan would be a little more enjoyable if they were more realistic. Like at first he came off as this kind of annoyed office worker who's just like, "Okay, yeah, whatever. I work at Mift. I'm not gonna go be of above and beyond to do my job. I'm just here. Hey, whatever." But then he like takes Tyler out back and he's like, "You better not come for the supervisor position because that's what I want." And I think that takes away from the fun of his character a little bit. I do like that he's a little freak, but it's a little annoying the way they set it up, and it's very sudden, and it's out of nowhere. Um, so it's a little rushed in his character introduction. I think it would have been funnier if they let him play off as the annoyed office worker for a while, and then eventually worked up to, "Hey, I want Fritz's position. So if you think that you can come in here and look cool, back off." Like, but they did it as soon as Tyler got there, so it's very um uncalled for. It's not, it's out of nowhere really. um so it's kind of annoying the way they set up his character in that sense. Val is fun, but she's kind of lacking. She's just kind of happy-go-lucky character without a reason to be, and we don't see enough of her to be on her side. Fritz is annoying as fuck. I don't even want to talk about that monster. And then Cutter. I love Cutter. She's actually really fun. She's a character that I have no qualms with so far. She's just kind of there for the fucking ride, and she's like, "Okay, whatever." Also, I like Flames and Tools because I'm a lesbian. Um, And then, of course, we get to see some fun interactions with Sully and Mike and Celia. Celia gets way more of an active role in the series. She gets to be the floor supervisor, and she's there with Sully and Mike half the time. It's very interesting and very refreshing to see her at the forefront, and it's very refreshing to see the side of Sully that we didn't really see in the most recent series, which was Monsters University. We get to go back to that Monsters Inc. Sully, where he's kind of not really sure of himself as an older character, which is it's really refreshing in my opinion. Mike's it's so interesting how Sully is still this kind of unsure character in Monsters at Work. He is just suddenly thrust into this position of CEO, and he's like, I what the fuck am I supposed to do? I've been scaring kids. It's what I went to school for, got kicked out for, worked in the mailroom, and now I just like lost this kid that changed my world. Mike's super excited about things changing, but he's wearing himself thin, and I love him. He's wearing himself thin, and I can't really do anything about it because he's a little fucking egg of power, and it's just I really like a lot of the aspects of the series, but time will tell, and I wish Tyler was written better because having a boring protagonist definitely takes away the allure of the show. People who love the universe, like me, people who love the characters in the universe that are already there, in a major way, are going to enjoy the series. But people who watched the first movie maybe didn't watch Monsters University. People who are just going to kind of poke in and check on the series, they're not going to be drawn in at all. And I think it's very sad because the series has a lot of potential and it could definitely get fun down the road. But Tyler is so unenjoyable in the first two episodes that I think it's going to scare off a lot of people, no pun intended, and it's just not very appealing so far. So we'll see where it goes. I'm hoping it goes up. That's just my 2 cents. Just a quick take from Rossithan on Monsters at Work.